This is another episode of Talks with Tyler ISD, a podcast about the passionate people who have a heart for students. This podcast is brought to you by Texas Bank and Trust. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Talks with Tyler ISD. I'm your host, Jennifer Hines, and joining us today is the Executive Director of Human Resources, Sheri Taylor. And Sheri, tell us a little bit about your background in education. I mean, you are an educator who is now helping to hire educators and administrators for Tyler ISD.
Correct. So I've been in education for over 27 years now. I'm in my 8th year in Tyler ISD, which that's incredible. I love this district, and it's a great district to be in. So my background, I have been a teacher. I've been assistant principal, but I spent most of my experience as a principal in elementary and spent 1 year as a middle school principal, which was an absolute blast.
So you know what principals are looking for when it comes to hiring teachers. You've been on the administration side. You really make all of that just seamless. And speaking of opportunities to work for Tyler ISD, you have a job fair coming up.
Yes, so we have a job fair April 5th. So it's coming right around the corner. It's from 9 to 11. We invite all teachers, counselors, special education department will be there along with fine arts department. And we're going to have all of our campuses there with their campus administrators and their teacher leaders. So it's a great time to come out and get to know our staff and see where a good fit for you might be.
So who all will be there? Like, are all of the schools there, or all of the principals? Like, what can somebody expect when they walk in?
You can expect to see every campus there, and it's incredible. They put a lot of time and effort into their booth, their table. They're very warm and inviting, and they want to get to know you. We also have areas that principals that they can pull you aside and have one-on-one interviews. And there's some candidates that, if selected, they can leave the job fair with a letter of intent to hire.
That's like being hired right on the spot. That's great. You got that letter of intent.
Very similar, but we have to go through the hiring process before we can do that.
Yes, of course. But you know that you're ready to take that next step.
Exactly.
And once you get those teachers in, I think one of the things that somebody that might be listening to this podcast might want to know is that once you do get into Tyler ISD, we have all sorts of support for you, whether you're a new teacher or a new to the district teacher.
Oh, definitely. So our C&I department has a division dedicated to newly hired teachers and beginning year teachers that come on to Tyler ISD. The support they offer between mentors and after session PD to help our teachers grow, not only to grow and understand the Tyler way, but to grow in the education field.
And I love that they have a new hire teacher academy that they have before school starts every year, so they get that extra help right off the bat. And again, you mentioned the mentors; they're going to pair you up with somebody. And I know that they even will, during the year, they'll, if you're a math teacher, they'll take you to a veteran math teacher, and you'll get to see like best practices in the works. So you're really getting a lot of one-on-one, a lot of exposure and experience and support, which I think is absolutely amazing. Let's talk a little bit about teacher incentives. I mean, there are a lot of incentives to becoming a teacher these days that most people may not even realize is out there. I mean, some teachers that do really well can make over $100,000 a year.
Yes, so with our incentives, we have a great base salary. So our salary is very competitive with schools within this area. And we also have stipends that if you are a secondary ELAR, math, science teacher, you get $4,000 on top of that base salary.
Wow, that's nice.
If you're coming in as a special education teacher, you get $3,000 on top, as well as bilingual teachers in the elementary. Then they can get a $4,000 stipend as well. And that's automatic if you're hired in those positions. We are part of Teacher Incentive Allotment with the state. And what that means is that you can come in, and if you meet our criteria for student growth, for attendance, for student surveys, and for evaluations, you could be a designated teacher and earn an allotment anywhere from $2,400 to $20,000 you're taking home.
That's amazing.
On top of everything else.
On top of everything else.
It is
on top of your
incredible.
stipends, on top of all the other things.
Yes, and we have had right now over 90 designated teachers.
Wow.
What we're hoping is in the future have that number just continuing to grow each and every year.
That's wonderful. And so tell us a little bit about who can apply for this top teacher designation. Is this elementary all the way through high school? Is this certain subjects? Like where are we at with that? Because I know that every year it grows and expands.
Currently, our application says that it is pre-K through 12th grade. And our pre-K through 2nd grade, we're looking at math and reading. And then when you go to 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade, again, math, reading, but then we add science and science on top of 5th grade. Then you go to middle school, math, reading, but then you also add social studies in 8th grade along with science. In high school, it's all of our STAR EOC subjects that are eligible for a teacher incentive allotment. We are hoping to expand our eligible teacher categories within the near future.
Wonderful. Well, and those core subjects are so important to have really solid, good teachers in there, veteran teachers, just your superstar teachers right out of the gate. That is so, so important. Let's circle back around to the job fair. We know who's going to be there, but what should I know if I am wanting to go to the job fair? How should I prepare? What should I expect? So I put my best foot forward.
Definitely come in and tell us about your experience. But also, why do you want to be in education? What led you down this path? These are certain types of questions that our principals will ask. We don't want to know what your qualifications are. Anything just to tell us so we can get to know you better, because we do want to make sure that we hire the right person in the right place that fits that campus.
Yes, because personalities and knowing, okay, are you going to fit into the culture of this campus versus that campus? Because every campus is a little bit different. And so it's wanting to get that best fit, of course, with all of the proper qualifications. But of course, always bring your resume, dress nicely, all of that.
Well, the great thing about the resume is that we do encourage you to apply or register online for our job fair, because then you get a QR code. That QR code, once you download your resume, it holds everything that we need. So all you have to do is go to the tables that you're interested in. They scan the QR code. Your resume, your information is all uploaded to a spreadsheet just for them on that campus. So we're trying to go paperless.
Yes. Well, and hey, I'm not going to have to print out like 50 different resumes and lug them around. I'm just like, here's my phone, here's my QR code.
And that it's easy for everybody if we do that.
I love that. And what kind of teachers and openings are we looking for right now? Who would be a good fit?
So our openings vary from campus to campus. So we're looking for all subject areas, all grade levels at this point. Definitely special education teachers. And even if you're a diagnostician, LSSP, speech pathologist, still come on in, because you can go speak to the special ed department, because they will be there with a table.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, tell us, is there anything else that somebody that's listening to this should know before heading to the job fair?
Just come excited. It is an incredible environment. We have students from our campuses there, our pep squads, our band, our drum line. It's an exciting time for us, and just come in, enjoy it. Feel the energy. It's wonderful.
Well, absolutely. Thank you so much, Sheri, for joining us for this episode of Talks with Tyler ISD. And thank you for joining us for this episode. Please share this with your friends and family, especially anybody that might be interested in becoming a teacher or working with Tyler ISD. And if you'd like to know more about all things Tyler ISD, you can sign up for our newsletter at get.tylerisd.news. We would like to thank our sponsor, Texas Bank and Trust. Subscribe to Talks with Tyler ISD on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or YouTube. Please share this episode with your friends and family.